Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Sarthak Show, where we discuss about tech, career, product and life. And today we have a very special guest with us. Generally, we are seeing a trend that companies are rescinding offers and there are layoffs going on at various companies out there. So I asked Iris because her offer at Twitter was recently rescinded and she has turned her life around it. What were the challenges that she faced? And obviously we would love to know more about everything on this topic. So yeah, this is something which is recently faced by a lot of people, and I think this video will be helpful for all of you folks. Yeah, thank you so much, Iris, for joining in for this podcast, and would love to know more about you and your story.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me on the podcast. I'm really happy to be here. So I'm Iris. I previously started a couple products on my side project, and that includes 𝐏𝐚𝐲, which was focused on food insecurity, helping people to get free food at restaurants that are discriminated against during COVID. So that was beginning of my product journey. After 𝐏𝐚𝐲 worked BlackBerry, Google X, Microsoft, and was about to join Twitter full-time as an associate product manager. I really enjoy building product outside of work. I like dancing, I like playing poker. I'm trying to learn jiu-jitsu and also moving to SF end of August. So yeah, that's about me.
Yeah, quite an interesting journey. I think you have worked at various places, Google, Microsoft, quite a good number of hobbies that you have. And personally, would love to know like what's your source for learning Jiu-Jitsu? Maybe sometime I might take out time for learning that as well. Yeah. And since you mentioned you were about to join Twitter and then they sent the offer, but what was the preface story of that? Like how did you apply at Twitter? Was it like a referral or somebody from HR team reached out to you? How was that process like?
So I did get a referral from one of the current APMs that I met through Clubhouse event and then we really hit it off, and then I continued chatting with her, then found out that she's gonna join Twitter. So when I was applying, I reached back out to her, and she's super nice and was able to give me a referral for Twitter. And then after the referral, the application basically, once you're selected for interview, you would go through, well, actually 3 rounds. First one would be kind of just a general behavioral / product design, and then second is a case study. So I got a homework assignment that I wrote about Twitter's product. And then last one would be on-site, where I got like 4 different interviews, including product design, technical rounds, a group interview, behavioral round. So
yeah, I think exhaustive list of interviews over there. So how was in general the experience of interviewing at Twitter was like? How was the interviewer, and in your opinion, what kind of difficult questions were asked? Like what was the difficulty level of the questions that were asked in the interviews?
Yeah, I would say the general experience was pretty good. I noticed that a lot of people are very chill and that they generally enjoy working at Twitter, and I can feel that they're very focused on like community culture, and it's pretty collaborative, very liberal working environment. And yeah, so that probably makes a pretty good like holistic interview experience, and I do enjoy talking to the people there. And after the interview, I also chatted with a lot of like current Twitter employees to get to know what is it like working at Twitter. And I would say, yeah, it's a positive experience.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's one thing that I also, before joining a company, or I researched about that company, I would talk to the people over there, like how's the work culture, how's the things going. Yeah, and it would good to have friends before you even join the company, because that's how the thing, whatever the company is bringing to the table, you would love it much better because you already have some people that you know over there. And since Twitter is something which is a new age social media platform, it seems very fascinating to be part of the Twitter as in culture and all everything. So yeah, you are looking at the outside of it using its product, but how it works and the inside to bring out those products is something that would definitely be interesting. So since you mentioned there were this many rounds in product design and general questions and Twitter products and everything, so what was your, I would say, resources that you followed, or maybe methodologies that you used to crack those APM interviews? What was your in general tips and tricks?
For sure, I think the key to really acing the product interviews are having a lot of mocks, and also making sure that you're thinking about product design on a daily basis. So for me, I was able to find mock partners of like PM interview groups. So there's like Facebook groups, and then there's the Lewis Lin Slack channel for interview. I also use Ladder, a community where there's like a PM channel in there. And I would so whenever I get an interview, I would just post there, or Slack or Facebook group, saying that, hey, I'm looking to practice for, let's say, like Microsoft or for Twitter. and anyone up to mock. So then that's how I was able to get to mock with a various range of strangers and really practice, like have the very real experience of practicing for an interview, because you don't know them and they're going to give you very honest and straightforward feedback. That was one way. And reading some books like Breaking the PM Interviews, Decode and Conquer, these two are very basic PM interview Bibles. I mean, having structure is one part, like you could use some of the structures, but everyone reads those books. So in order to stand out, you really need to make sure that you're giving out authentic, original ideas where you're able to be creative and think outside of the box, be able to deliver product insights. And that can only be cultivated through just being very mindful of the product around you, thinking about, how I would design my phone better, how I would design like this fridge for someone who's blind. Basically, I would say doing a combination of physical and software product is a good practice for you to just think about how to design things better in general. And I've also used like career coaching services before, where they help me with resume editing, LinkedIn, and helping me to improve the way I present myself. And I generally find that pretty useful. I've ended up like summarizing the learnings I had, started career coaching other people as well.
Awesome. I think it's very amazing that you mentioned all of these points, and I truly genuinely believe these are the best advice, because I have realized that more the interviews that I give or mocks that I give, better I am at cracking those interviews, because whenever or wherever I give an interview, I had a huge amount of learnings that I have, because it's not just about the job or interview part, but it gives my graces to work upon some things that I have never thought of. So these are some questions that I have never been exposed of, and these are various things that you discuss, because let's say same question between me and ex interviewer would have a very different conversation than again same question between me and another interviewer, because how it trickles down, what is the objective that the interviewer is looking forward to, and what are the learnings that I can get is always different. And anybody who is listening in, that's the prime advice that I would definitely give, that practice much or more on the interviews cracking, because something like product thinking or how you work on the products part is on the way, and you will learn with experience and everything, right? The larger you work on the products and how you things and function in the real life. But for cracking interviews, you need to have this practice mocks, because you cannot know for sure that what kind of questions can be bombarded upon you. So yeah, and then you mentioned all the resources for that. So thank you for mentioning that. I will try to put that in the comment section below, so that everybody who is interested in going for those mocks or learning from the people from the community can join those places and find those resources helpful. I think lastly, the very interesting point is that people generally now focus only on the software part of the product because they are joining an IT company of that sort. But often I have realized, and I have been also exposed to the physical hardware questions, like how we want to design a mug, or maybe something like a tube light, or maybe a scooter, or so and so forth. Yeah, people generally try to forget like how the actual hardware product is also a product, and how can you design them. So what is your TG and how do you want to go about that journey? And this also gives a lot of exposure on how that person thinks about software products and in general about the products, because software is just one part of the stage, but like there are plenty and plethora of products that are in hardware shape and form.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to be comprehensive in your product thinking and not just constrain it to software products. So that's what I try to do with my mock partners, and we would discuss a variety of products that can help you like explore creativity and come up with very unique solutions.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing, because you have to have that holistic view about some things and how that will function. Something like a software product is also influenced by whatever the hardware that you are using at the end of the day. So whatever phone, laptop, or any machine that you are using, and you have to take that into consideration as well. So having that holistic view about hardware products and software products is something that is obviously a good trait to have. Moving forward, just to mention out there for the audience, if you are somebody who is looking to become a good APM and the resources that Iris has mentioned are very good for you, you can reach out and take that look around that and explore them as much as you want and learn from the community. But if you are someone who is on this channel but not interested into product management and is interested into something which is tech intensive and on the software development of side, you can check out the link in the description box below about Newton School, which they are offering a full stack development course where you would learn from scratch about everything in the development scenario, how to develop good products and everything on the engineering side of it. And on the same day, the good part of it that you don't have to pay any fee upfront, and it's a zero fee upfront course. So yeah, check out more information in the description box below and let me know. Yep. And yeah, Iris, since you mentioned that the offer got rescinded, what was the story behind it? Like how before your joining you were informed about that? What kind of way that the Twitter used to inform you about the offer?
Yeah, for sure. So Twitter has been going through quite turmoil time during the past 6 months, I would say, for the time. So I signed the offer in December 2021. Right after I signed, or like during the same time when I was signing the offer, Twitter was switching CEO, where Jack Dorsey backed off and then the new CEO come on board. So since then, it has already been going through a lot of changes, and I was already aware that company will likely be in a chaotic situation. Then coming this year, a couple months, I think 2-3 months ago, when Elon Musk started to want to buy Twitter, that whole scene has also caused even more chaos because of uncertainty in terms of what happens after Elon buys Twitter. Is the deal going to go through? Like, who's going to be the new CEO? What does that mean to Twitter employees? So there were a lot of concern during that time. I was actually already feeling a little stressed and anxious about what's going to happen. So before they even started to rescind the offer, I remember like 2 weeks before I got the news, I was talking to my friends jokingly about how I wouldn't be surprised if they rescind my offer right now. Like, I think I said it as a joke, but I kind of mean it. And then 2 weeks after, on May 26th, that's when I got an email from the HR asking if they can set up a call with me. Actually, on that same day, I was just chatting with my APM buddy, Lily, who's also the person who referred me to Twitter, and about like how excited I am to start working at Twitter as an APM. After my call with her, I started getting some texts from other like APMs in my cohort. They were saying that some of their offer got rescinded. I was really surprised because even though I kind of expected it, but it still comes as a surprise when it actually happens. So then I got this like HR email trying to set up a call with me. I said, okay, sure, let's do it now. And even though it was 10:45 p.m. in my time, and then I hop on a 15-minute call, the HR told me, unfortunately, due to various reasons, your offer is rescinded. So that's kind of the process. And after that, I couldn't sleep that night because just thinking about, okay, that means, well, because I need H1B, I actually got the H1B lottery this year. Since I won't be working at Twitter, that means my H1B will be invalid. So I need to find like another company to sponsor visa and a different type of visa and looking for jobs. So just like a lot of thoughts going on. So I decided to write a LinkedIn post that night, scheduled to post the next day in the morning on Friday. And so that was my beginning of the job search journey, and then letting my network know that, hey, I'm on the market. Please grab me if you're looking for a PM. So yeah,
I think it's a journey in itself. And as you mentioned, that even though you joked about it and even though you had a hunch that this is something that is going to may come, but whenever that information is conveyed to you, that is also always going to come as a shock or a surprise, right? So yeah, right. And I think kudos to you for having those patience and I think braveness, like how to battle the situation, because if one person have been in that situation, they might not react in the same way and it could have been fallen out in different pieces. So yeah, and I think it's very hurtful to know that companies like Twitter or at such apex level of companies like in the market are rescinding offers, and it's so chaotic above there. The situations, everything, the future is in something for gray area, how the things will move forward and everything. So kudos to you again for taking a good step, letting the community know at LinkedIn that you are available on the market, and whoever is hiring for the company for a position of product manager, you would be interested to join in. And yeah, I think this is the best part of at least LinkedIn community, that whatever you have been faced and whatever you are in a situation that you are stuck, community members are always there to help you out. So yeah,
it's definitely important to ask for help when you need it. And I used to have problems doing that. I used to think that I'll just do everything myself, that I'm like super independent and I'm capable of doing everything myself. And I really had trouble with asking for help in the workplace and also on LinkedIn. But I realized over time that it's really important for you to seek help as well. Like, even though seeking help doesn't mean that you're weak or that you are less capable, it just means that sometimes you need other people's help, and that's okay. So I would encourage all of you, if you're going through struggling times and some challenges, please seek help and feel free to reach out to me if I can help as well.
Yeah, I think very good advice over there. So even like whatever the situation is, if it is not like something like your offers getting rescinded or layoffs, it could be about anything. You want to learn more about, let's say, product management or any other skill, or maybe you want to reach out for a mock or something else. Seeking help is the way to go, because that is part of the human nature. You should reach out to people out there and ask for their help to become better at what you are looking for. So yeah, seeking help is something which you should always do. And as what Iris mentioned, you can reach out to her, you can reach out to me, and I will also put her LinkedIn link in the description box below if you want to reach out to her. So what are the things that are, let's say, in the short term or in the long term a person can do when they get the information like their offers getting rescinded or they are being laid off? So yeah, what are the steps that you recommend, or from your experiences or from your peers experiences, what are the things that they should do?
Yeah, for sure. So I personally encountered it, and I'm currently coaching a lot of other individuals who are just going through laid off or just being rescinded. So I can definitely talk about this from a career coaching perspective. So first of all, you want to make sure that your LinkedIn and resume are up to date. Whatever job you're looking for, if you're looking to transition into a new industry, if you're like trying to break into PM, or if you're just trying to continue your job search with your past experiences, I would say always very important to cater your resume and LinkedIn towards the role you're looking for. So let's say if you are trying to break into PM and you don't have any product relevant experiences, which is the case for a lot of people and a lot of clients that I coach, that is okay. Because you want to show that you have transferable skills, that the skills that will allow you to do the job as a PM, even though you haven't been a PM before. How do you do that? You do that through resumes. You do that through highlighting the key skill set that are relevant for PM on your LinkedIn and really giving recruiter that strong signal. Even though you haven't been a PM or haven't been hired as a PM, it's okay, as long as you have the skill set to do the job and that you're willing to learn and you have the potential. So that's the first step. After you've catered your resume and LinkedIn, next step, you want to work on really starting to network. So networking is really, I would say it's more of an art than a science. You want to make sure that you're still building genuine and authentic human connection. Even though the word networking usually have negative connotation or it feels a little transactional, I would say, so I actually do teach people about like how to build genuine connection while still like getting what you want, not feeling too transactional. So definitely very key to build that connection, get to know other people. And then through networking, I would say talk to recruiters, hiring managers, and like PMs or anyone like working at the company in the role that you want. With that connection being built, you can get referrals, which is a step closer for you to get interviews, but it's never guaranteed because referrals is just meaning that you're jump in the queue for a recruiter to see your resume. But in order to really pass that recruiter screen for your resume to get selected, keep in mind that recruiter usually only spend less than 10 seconds on each resume. You really need to stand out with your resume and making sure that you're highlighting the important skills that you can do the job. After you get selected for interview, moving on, due to all the hard work you've done with preparation and networking and resume editing, now you're on to next challenge, which is acing the interview. You want to do a lot of product mocks if you're looking for PM jobs. So that include like all different kinds of product questions, product design, product strategy, execution question, product launch, sometimes technical as well for like infrastructure. Definitely going to be hard. You want to make sure that you're mocking with people who have more experience or at least can give you very constructive feedback on your response so that you can improve after each mock instead of just like mocking with the same level of experience and doing it over and over again. So I think that's really important to reflect on your mistake, follow the structure, have a good mock partner who can give you good feedback. So after the mock, hopefully by then your interview would be going well and that you landed offers. Then I think it's very important to select the right offer for you. Usually I have actually a prioritization framework that I use as a template whenever I have problem choosing offers myself. Yeah, so choosing the right offer and then trying to negotiate to get a higher offer is also going to be an important next step. So I think that's the entire process of job search, from my perspective, broken down. I actually help clients in my career coaching program with every step of the job search to help them land a job.
Yeah, I think wonderful advice over there, and personally I feel like mind blown with such genuine advices and suggestions that are very true by nature. So anything like updating your LinkedIn, your resume, to working on mocks with people who are more experienced and who can provide you some positive criticism or something that you can improve upon is very important, because let's say you are just doing with a mock with somebody who is on the similar level and it's going to be a feel good factor for you. It's good enough for you to boost some confidence, but the learning that you want from a mock is something which will come when you interact with people who have been in the industry for long, who have more experience than you, or who can give you some guidance and feedback on those parts. And yeah, definitely you need to work on a lot of different skills, and you will definitely get this offers based on your skill set. You need to prioritize and how do you want to negotiate with the company for the offers and how do you want to discuss with everything. The last step is then again prioritization, which company to take on. And I think Iris has her coaching program, so if anybody is interested, again I would say reach out to her. I would again put the LinkedIn link in the description box below, and you can reach out to her for more details. Cool. I think we are about to end this podcast, and Iris, do you have any last words for that?
Definitely. I think the job search is not only a technical process, it's also emotionally draining. It's really easy for you to lose motivation when you don't see the results. It's easy to think that, oh, am I not good enough? Like, what is wrong with me? And having those imposter syndrome thoughts during this time, it's very important to have a support network. Having someone who can cheer you on, be your cheerleader during those downtime. Also, always remember that job is not everything of your life. It's only a part of your life where you're working, but so many other things outside of your career that are really important, like your family, your friends, your hobbies, things you do in life that make you more of a human being. Just don't be like too tunnel vision on that career you want. I mean, it's important. You should work for it, but just remember all the good things in life and never give up, because you will get what you want as long as you work hard. And with a bit of luck, I believe that people can always create for themselves. Like, I believe that I've always been very lucky throughout my entire life, but I've also worked really hard for it. So yeah, you can do this. Go for it.
Yeah, I think wonderful advice over there, and have that keep hustling attitude is very important in life, and always appreciating what are the good things that are happening around you outside of your professional life is something that is always appreciable. Thank you so much, Iris, for sharing all of these learnings. I really enjoyed this session. I loved it. Definitely had a good number of learnings on my side as well. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing all of this information with all the audience. And audience who are tuning in for this podcast, I will come back with the next video in the soon time. Till then, take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.